On this channel, I've been exposing a lot of pagan teachings. There's one teaching that is persistent. It's very persistent in pagan Christianity, and there are many real believers that have been tricked into this belief, which is a false one. It's nowhere supported in scripture, nowhere at all. Even without scripture, if you evaluate this teaching using natural common sense, you would figure out this contradicts itself. And that's the following. You have this teaching which has been brought out by the Jesuit Society, which is a cult of wizards. Actually, it is a shadow government, to be frank. But you can figure that out on your own when you do research. I've spoken about shadow government so often. Well, they came with this teaching that Christ, instead of returning back once and remove all darkness from the earth forever, he will come back 3 times. One time to get his faithful people that are still alive at then, and then to leave the unfaithful believers with the rest of the world behind, when Antichrist will rise up from Jerusalem in a 3rd Jewish temple, ruling the earth for 7 years. After 7 years, Christ will come back again with the saints that were faithful before, and then the other saints will be resurrected, and there will be peace for 1,000 years. And after that, Satan will get another chance to deceive those that have been under Christ's rule for already 1,000 years. And then they will be defeated forever. You'll have another resurrection, final judgment, and then you have the new heaven and new earth. Well, when you read the New Testament, when you read the book of Revelations, without the proper context, you may fall easily for this teaching, but I'm sorry, but this teaching is garbage. Christ, when he walked the earth, never spoke about 3 comings. He would only come back again once. Those who are born again now are participating in the first resurrection. And the 1,000-year reign is a metaphor. It's not a literal 1,000 years. The 1,000-year rule, figuratively speaking, is the rule of Christ on the earth through the believers in the here and now. That's why those who participate in the first resurrection will not suffer second death. And the only way you can't suffer second death is if you're born again. So the first resurrection is not the bodily resurrection at the end of the ages. The first resurrection are just those that become born again in the here and now. So Christ will come back again once, physically in all glory and in all his power. But until then, we have the 1,000 years rule of Christ through the believers, in which the works of the enemy are destroyed. And in that time period, near the end, the enemy will have a complete reign of the world against Christ, but it will only last very short. Meanwhile, Antichrist is already ruling, because Antichrist is a demon that works through an Antichrist system. And that system has been here since Christ walked the earth. So what's going on now is the outworking of God's will, of God's words through human history, through the believers, of which I'm one of them. Nowhere did Christ tell us that he will come secretly to pick up those that are faithful unto him. When it talks in the book of Revelation, Christ will spare you of the hour of temptation to come for those on the earth, he was talking about the Antichrist rule that's going on right now. You will be preserved through all tribulation, through all the attacks. Because you walk by faith, you overcome. That's what he was speaking about. Just think about this. The apostles went through a lot of hardship. There was no rapture for them. Those in the Middle Ages, oh dear, they had a lot of trouble. Because that church in Rome harms them. They had no rapture. And now in the so-called end times, what churches call the end times, you have people that are unfaithful to the word. They don't agree with Christ at all. And yet Christ is coming back for them because their faithfulness is going to church every Sunday, while that whole church system is not even from Christ at all. It's from Rome. Come on now. I don't have to go deep into this. That whole rapture teaching is garbage. It's demonic. Why? Because it makes you passive aggressive. It doesn't provoke you to be proactive in the faith. It does not provoke you as a man to operate in male energy as Christ intended. It doesn't provoke females to operate in feminine energy. It makes people passive and aggressive because it contradicts itself. And here's another thing. A lot of pagan Christians, I don't say believers because I'm not even sure whether those people are born again or not. A lot of pagan Christians talk about reaching the world, but they do nothing to really reach the world and go to church every Sunday and paying money to in tithes and offerings. And that's how they claim they're faithful until Christ comes and picks them up secretly. They would have to go through any hardship despite them following an antichrist system. What? Listen, Christ only returns back once. Okay? Anyone that tells you different, they're deceived, or they have another spirit working through them. Okay, that's one thing. And there's another subject about near-death experiences. I'm not saying they're not real. People may have them, but who says they are from God? I mean, heaven was never the destination of mankind. Earth was. That's why earth will be renewed to reflect Christ's glory as it was in the beginning. But now you will have redeemed mankind. You will praise him forever. So earth is mankind's destination. Christ, the word became flesh and dwelt amongst us on the earth. Okay? So if you have those near-death experiences about people that went to heaven and saw all those biblical figures over there and how much rewards we'll have in heaven, I'm telling you, it's garbage. How come Scripture may explain earth is our destination, and yet you have people talking about near-death experiences in the heavens, and people just fall for it? I'm sorry. If Christ said that earth is our destination, then how can it be that there are people having dreams and visions about the heavens, and millions of their books are being sold, and many people follow them as men and women of God? It's garbage. I mean it, it's garbage. I'm not saying this to hurt people's feelings, I'm saying this to wake you up. Look, again, I'm not saying near-death experiences are always imagined. They can be real, but demons can also give people near-death experiences. Yes, they can. Just like they give people with dreams and visions. And in pagan Christianity, there are many false prophets going around with dreams and visions, powered by demonic spirits, and people think it's the anointing. I'm telling you, watch out. Seriously, watch out.